raised conservative, became an independent woman, feminist from age 16 to 18.
Yeah.
Did that manifest itself though, like with dating? Like, was there a period of promiscuity or?
Well, so when I was like, I would say maybe the gap was like 14 to 18. But I grew up probably not with the best father role model as far as how their marriage with my father was. So I always thought, I don't want to be in a situation that my mom was in. I don't think I could find someone who would treat me that way or treat me better. I didn't want to be in a situation where that was ever possible. I never wanted to be with what it was. So I was like, nope, I'm not going to get into a relationship. I'm not going to date. But I was a young, rebellious girl, and I liked attention because I wasn't getting it at home and didn't have a lot of friends, kind of, but I liked the attention that I was getting from men. And I was always into older guys. Obviously, I wasn't with anyone when I was underage, but there were definitely situations I did go through like a little bit of a phase. I mean, I moved out at 16. I worked at a hospital immediately, worked at a nursing home. I was working like 60 to 80 hours a week, just grinding, trying to get money, living on my own. At the time, I had my own apartment. Yeah.
Well, you say in your notes, you said you were a hardcore feminist.
Yeah,
So, I mean, what were some of the hardcore things?
I had the, like, I hate men. I was saying that.
Damn.
Definitely did a 180 there. I thought that men really were objective creatures, and that's all they wanted. I didn't think that I could find a true marriage or find someone that was capable of loving me the way that I want to love somebody. So I just thought, you know what? If it's just physical, it's just physical, and that's fine.
What was it that changed it?
Finding Alex, or my boyfriend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And did he bring you around to these ideas? Is he a conservative sort of guy?
He is very traditional. But I think it just kind of happened naturally. When we met, I can't even explain. It's when you meet someone, that chemistry, the instant, yeah, this is the person. We can talk for forever. We can see each other. There's a future, and he wants to love somebody. I think it was really hard for me to see a man loving their wife the way that I wanted to be loved.
Yeah.
And he is just the best boyfriend ever. He tells me every day. It's not just his words, his actions.
That guy Slingshot donated $69. Question for the panel. Would you agree that dating has become overcomplicated compared to how it was with our grandparents? Are 40 and 50-year marriages a thing of the past? How do we get back to that?
I think exactly what she was saying. Yes, 100%.
Way more complicated. Way more complicated.
It's unbelievably complicated.
Very complicated.
I hope 40 and 50-year marriages aren't a thing of the past. I think social media has a lot to do on, like, quick access to men and women on dating apps increases temptation, and I think that has a lot to do with it. But no, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get it back to how it was.
It's complicated. There's the sugar dating.
Sugar
bro.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it was more like. Oh no, it was more like. I don't even know, bro. I'm losing my mind here. But there's these. I blame both sides. Men are simping in really weird ways. They're like pay pigs and shit. It's super weird. That complicates things. And then like you have the women on the other side of it who are taking advantage of these broken men. And then there's dating apps, feet pics. It's getting very complicated. I don't know what's going on.
Instagram's probably a big killer.
It's Instagram.
Absolutely.
I think it depends on
It's
your
too much.
geographic area too.
People
Like,
think
I
they have more options.
I'm hopeful, like how you described it. Like I think that's
Nick, could you close the
beautiful.
door?
I think that's able to be found. So.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal that you found that in your current relationship. It is really, really hard with a lack of strong and good father figures in the household, and we're seeing obviously an increased amount of either fatherless homes or poor fathers, basically. And it's really hard. It's extremely difficult for young boys to to have a father like that or not have a father at all, but it's also really detrimental to women, I think, because really, I've talked about this a lot lately, but the father really, really sets an example to daughters and how they should be treated by men.
Right.
And if you don't have that, it's so difficult. I've experienced that in my personal life as well, and it's a hard road to figure out that and navigate that. But I'm so glad to hear that you found that.
What did you experience in that regard? Sorry.
I had a pretty poor relationship with my father when I was younger. Yeah.
Was he with your mom as well?
He was with my mom for a period of time, and then a lot of it went quite sour. So it was just not a great example, but yeah, it is really, really difficult, and it's something that I've had to make an effort to reflect on. So yeah.
And I think it's honestly way worse. I definitely had it way better off than my brother did. I would always look at him, and I love him so much. We're not super close, but the way he turned out scared me because I love him. You know, I remember the kid he was, and then he just didn't get to that point where he could be a confident man.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest thing, and I didn't want to be with a man that couldn't be that father.
Yeah.
Now, you said that you used to live a casual dating life.
Yeah.
The two men you were casual with, they fell in love with you, but you were an asshole to them?
Yeah, so before I had met my boyfriend, again, I liked the attention. I wasn't into things sexually. That wasn't really my situation. I was a little bit scared, but also traditional in the sense that I didn't want to just give myself away. So I had met one person. We had been talking for a long time. He was a player all over, but I just really liked him. I loved his sister. And he, out of nowhere, is just like, hey, I really want to date. I want to have kids with you. I think you'd be a great mom. And I was like, I didn't think you'd be a great dad, and I wasn't really nice to him. I definitely wasn't a good person to him. And we've fixed things since then. And that happened twice. And we're friends now.
All right, got it. Going back to Karina here to finish your notes here.
Lambda Sky donated $70.
Lambda Sky.
To Priya's comment, I'm Canadian and go to the US sometimes. Secularism is stronger in Canada. We are nowhere close to being a Muslim country, nor are they trying. They're here to find work, mostly TBH.
I have seen plenty that says otherwise, but we don't need to get into it. It's not a political podcast, per se.
For shizzle. There's definitely demographic changes, though, going on in Europe. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I'm here.
To Karina, you said, I'm telling you, females from middle school to college have always tried to get me to do bad things, to lose my virginity, weed, go out on dates, sneak out, etc. I never understood why. Whereas men have always protected me and wanted to protect my innocence. They were always respectful. They never threw themselves on me. They always would ask if I was ready, but I just didn't want a boyfriend at the time. Yeah, we kind of talked a bit about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'd never been lucky with females, and I never understood why. Because I would love to have.
You mean with friendships, right?
Huh?
Like friendships.
Like female friendships. Yeah, that's just my luck, I guess. You know, that's why towards like the end of college, I just stopped talking about what I want in life, what I desire, and all that stuff, because I knew they weren't going to like me for long. But yeah, it's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Girl, don't let up on those beliefs. Keep talking about them, especially. You wanna have friendships and relationships with people that have similar values to you.
Yeah.
Find them in the church. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Bringing it to Victoria Stang.
Yes.
You said, I'd like to discuss the recent increase of anti-feminists who mostly just hate on women in a cruel way and are basically Uncle Toms for gender instead of race. What do you mean by that?
I just feel like some of them just kind of agree in a way that's just insincere, like women.
Can you elaborate a little bit? So because I call myself an anti-feminist just because I don't adhere to the beliefs and the
Oh, I agree too. I'm an anti-feminist
Okay.
as well. Yeah, I just mean that there are some women who they take it too far, if that makes any sense.
Do you have any?
anti-feminist?
Yeah.
Do you have any like more specific examples, or can you
I can't
describe it
think
a
of
little bit
any
more?
right now, I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Do you mean just basically like they'll just agree with whatever like the man says, just for pick me?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
It's almost like a pick me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think females
something I've
nowadays
seen
have
a lot.
lost a lot of empathy with
So I see
men,
that.
towards men.
Yeah.
A lot of empathy. They just don't care. They just want. They want him to do They want the man to do everything for them, and they just
Well,
want
hold on.
to just sit back and relax
Let
and
me
not
just send
do
that over to Nick.
anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a
Private chat, Nick.
large anti-man culture, and
Make sure
I
it's,
don't know.
there's
It's
nothing
very
there.
interesting.
It
Yeah.
doesn't
What does
really
that
make.
mean?
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would hate men. Like,
Yeah.
we need them.
Don't.
Especially
Yeah.
because they still want to get married, and it doesn't add up. And I'm like,
Yeah, people have
Yeah.
lost the idea
Nick,
that
can
we
you
have
show me on-
the,
just drag it
that
over on the
sexes are
screen? I just wanna
complementary, we
double
have
check.
complementary roles, and there's a beauty in that, and
Yeah.
and yeah, we're different for beautiful and amazing
Amazing.
reasons, and
Just
yeah,
minimize
it's important to
OBS.
recognize that and to adhere
Yeah.
to those roles and
Yeah.
values.
Yeah.
it is.
You